So you have some extra money that you want to invest in crypto. But if you're new, it can seem really confusing and overwhelming. So this video is the ultimate beginner's guide for how to invest in crypto in today's market. And no, you don't need to learn how to read charts, and it's not too late to make life-changing money in crypto. But you need to start with the fundamentals, otherwise you'll end up losing all of your crypto to one silly mistake or getting scammed. By the end of this no hype guide, you'll understand the 9 key areas that most beginners overlook and how to buy, store, and protect your crypto so you can actually grow your portfolio and not make a simple mistake or get scammed. To make following along and reviewing this guide super easy, I've broken it into 9 chapters. Chapter 1, Crypto Fundamentals. Chapter 2, Types of Cryptocurrencies. Chapter 3, Crypto Wallets. Chapter 4, Storing Your Crypto Safely. Chapter 5, How to Research Crypto. Chapter 6, Crypto Fees. Chapter 7, How to Buy and Invest in Crypto. Chapter 8, Taking Profits. And Chapter 9, my personal favorite, crypto taxes. So grab a notebook or open your notes app and let's get started. First, we need to break down some key terms. Otherwise, the rest of this guide probably won't make much sense. Let's start with the blockchain. The blockchain is where all cryptocurrencies live. Without it, crypto wouldn't even exist. And the easiest way to think of a blockchain is that it is a permanent digital public logbook. So all crypto transactions that have ever happened and ever will happen get recorded there. Once a transaction is finalized on the blockchain, it can't be changed or erased. And since the blockchain is public, anyone can look up any transaction or even see your wallet's portfolio, assuming they know your wallet's address. Now, there are different types of blockchains, each with their own tech under the hood, but the core concept across all of them pretty much remain the same. Our next term is crypto wallet, and there are a few key terms within this one that you'll also need to understand. Now, the most confusing thing about crypto wallets is that they don't actually hold any crypto. They hold the keys that allow you to access and manage your crypto on the blockchain. So really, a wallet is just a tool that you use to interact with your crypto to do things like buy, sell, send, and receive crypto, and ultimately manage everything. But because these wallets hold the keys that unlock your crypto, it's super important to understand how these keys work. When you set up a wallet, it creates something called a seed phrase. This is the human readable version of your master key, and this gives you access to all of your crypto accounts on the blockchain. So anytime you want to access your crypto accounts, like if you get a new crypto wallet, you enter your seed phrase into your wallet to gain access to those accounts. That means anyone who knows your seed phrase can access and manage your crypto. That's why it's so important to keep it safe. And as far as a master key, it's just a long random string of characters that's basically impossible to remember, let alone write down. And this is why the seed phrase was created, which is 12 to 24 random words, so that you can write it down and easily access your wallet when you need to. You'll probably never see your master key, and this is completely normal, as long as you know to record your seed phrase so that you can use it to access your crypto if you need to. Now, from your seed phrase, individual keys for each blockchain account are created. These keys are called private keys, and they act as your digital signature when you sign a transaction. Again, you'll probably never see your private keys, but they're working in the background. From each private key, your wallet also creates a receiving address, also known as a public address, and this is the address that you use when you want to receive crypto, whether someone is sending you crypto or you're sending crypto to yourself between wallets or from a crypto exchange to your wallet. So let's bring it all together. Your seed phrase is a master key to all of your crypto accounts. Anyone who has it can access your crypto. Your private key is specific to each blockchain account. This is what you use to access those accounts and sign transactions. Again, this happens in the background. And your receiving address is similar to an email. You can share it with others so that they can send you crypto without worrying about them having access to your inbox or your crypto wallet. And the last term we'll cover is a smart contract. A smart contract is a program on the blockchain that automatically runs when certain conditions are met. So instead of relying on a middleman, like a human or a company, to execute a transaction, the smart contract does it on its own. A good example of how a smart contract works is when you swap crypto. When you swap crypto, you're saying, hey, I'm going to give you this much crypto, and in return, you're giving me this, and it doesn't execute that transaction until all those terms are met. Okay, so those are some key fundamentals that will help carry you through this guide, and of course, we'll cover a lot more as we go. But speaking of cryptocurrencies, every blockchain network has its own cryptocurrencies, and a lot of them. There are literally hundreds of thousands of cryptocurrencies. So how do you know which ones are useful and which ones you should avoid like the plague? Well, that's what chapter 2 is all about. First, there are 2 umbrella terms for cryptocurrencies that are often used interchangeably that really shouldn't be because they're completely different, and that is coin and token. A coin is the native currency for a blockchain network. For example, ETH is the native currency of Ethereum, Bitcoin is the native currency of Bitcoin network, and these cryptocurrencies are used to pay for fees on their blockchain network. So if you pay a transaction fee on Ethereum, you're paying that fee in ETH. Beyond that, you'll also hear the term altcoin or alternative coin. And basically an altcoin is any coin other than Bitcoin. So ETH, Sol, XRP, BNB, these are all coins with their own blockchain networks, but since they aren't Bitcoin, which is the OG, you gotta show respect, we just refer to them as altcoins. But here's the thing, there are thousands of cryptocurrencies that exist on top of these networks that aren't the network's native coins. These cryptocurrencies are called tokens, which is best defined as a cryptocurrency that lives on top of an existing blockchain network. So even though they have their own name, value, and token supply, they use the blockchain's technology to exist. One of the most popular types of tokens are called meme coins, and really they should be called meme tokens, not coins, because they're a token, not a coin. The more you know, right? Meme coins are highly speculative cryptocurrencies created around internet culture and trends. Some of them, like Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, have been around for years, while others, like Trump, were recently created for more recent cultural events. In general, meme coins don't have much real utility. Their main appeal is being funny, culturally relevant, or giving you the opportunity to make or lose a bunch of money really fast. So their main utility, if you want to call it that, is the equivalent to chips at a casino. You can use them to gamble. If you've ever heard stories of people getting rich quick overnight through crypto, they probably did it through meme coins, but know that this is the exception and not the rule. That said, coins like ETH and tokens like Trump are both extremely volatile since their prices are constantly fluctuating by the second. But what if you don't want extreme volatility? Well, there are cryptocurrencies that don't fluctuate, or at least not as much, and the reason they don't fluctuate is because their price is pegged to more stable assets like the US dollar or even gold. These cryptocurrencies are called stablecoins. Stablecoins are backed one-to-one by the asset they're pegged to. For example, the stablecoin USDC is backed one-to-one by the US dollar, or PAXG, which is backed one-to-one by 1 ounce of gold, which is stored in vaults. Now, stablecoins aren't really meant to be an investment. They're more a safe place to park your crypto when you take profits, or if you just want to have money in the market ready to go for when an opportunity does show up. But to store and manage any type of crypto, you're going to need a crypto wallet. But not all crypto wallets are created equally. Some are super easy to use but less secure, while others are extremely secure but not beginner friendly. Both sides are worth knowing, and that's what we're covering in chapter 3. We'll start with the two main categories of crypto wallets, custodial and non-custodial. A custodial wallet is where most beginners start because they're really easy to use. These are large crypto exchange platforms like Coinbase, Binance, Kraken. Basically, any crypto exchange is going to be a custodial wallet. With a custodial wallet, a third party, in this case a crypto exchange, actually owns and controls the keys that are used to access your crypto. So when you use a crypto exchange, you're basically borrowing access to the exchange's crypto wallets to do things like buy, sell, send, receive, and hold your crypto, but you don't actually own or control your crypto because you don't own the keys. The big benefit here is convenience, especially for beginners. You don't have to mess around with setting up a crypto wallet. You just set up an account on the exchange using your email and creating a password. And if you ever forget your password, you can reset it so that you can gain access to your account. Sounds great, right? And for a lot of people, it is, until it's not. Because here's the problem. When someone controls your keys, they actually control your crypto. So if an exchange wants to freeze your funds, lock your account, or if they go out of business, well, they can do that because they control your crypto. This actually happened to me. I was sitting at my computer, I needed some ETH, so I hopped on Coinbase where I had been a customer for years. I pressed the buy button, the ETH showed up in my account, everything looked normal, until I went to send my crypto to my crypto wallet, and then a message popped up saying that my funds were frozen for over a month, and I was furious because I needed that crypto the same day, not 30 days later. But it was even worse for my friend Dylan, who had thousands of dollars sitting on his crypto exchange account. He was storing it just fine until one day he got an email from the exchange saying that his account had been locked for security concerns. He spent a year going back and forth with support with no results, no access to his account or his crypto, and it wasn't until he sent them a legal letter threatening action that they unlocked his account a few days later. And of course, then there's the worst case scenario scenario, we all saw what happened with the collapse of FTX, where people trusted the exchange with billions of their dollars, only for them to misuse it and basically not even have that crypto when it came time to withdraw it. So yeah, crypto exchanges are convenient until they're not. That brings us to the next best option, non-custodial wallets. These are for people who want full control over their crypto. You own the keys, so no one can freeze your funds or lock your account because no one but you has access to the wallet. But that freedom comes with huge responsibility. If you lose your seed phrase, there's no forgot password button. You can't recover it, so you would essentially lose access to your crypto. Likewise, if someone finds your seed phrase, they can take your crypto within seconds. But as long as you understand this risk and manage it accordingly, which you'll know how to do once you're done with this guide, a non-custodial wallet is by far the best option for storing your cryptocurrency. Now, there are two types of non-custodial wallet. One, a hot wallet, and two, a cold wallet. Both of them allow you to own and control your keys, but they're not equally secure. Let's start with hot wallets. These are app or browser-based wallets that live on your phone or computer. Popular examples include MetaMask, Trust Wallet, and Phantom. Now, these wallets are great, they're free to set up and use, and they give you full control over your crypto, but they have one major downside, and that is where they store your keys. When you set up a hot wallet, your seed phrase and private keys are generated right there on your internet connected device like your phone or computer, and then they are stored in the app software. So if you ever download malware onto your computer or your phone, then your crypto is instantly at risk of being stolen. That's why cold wallets are created. These are devices made specifically to keep your secrets safe. And by secrets, I don't mean your questionable browser history, I mean the keys to your crypto. A cold wallet keeps your keys offline, away from all the threats of the internet, but it's not just being offline that makes these devices secure. They also have a ton of different security features like a secure element chip, which is the same kind of chip used in bank cards and electronic passports to prevent physical and remote access. They also have PIN codes, as well as a tamper-resistant design, which is why they are often considered the best and most secure way to store your crypto. Now, there are dozens of cold wallet brands out there, but there are only a few that I would recommend to beginners. By far, the most user-friendly option that doesn't sacrifice security is Tangem, and this is the wallet that I use most often and that a lot of the subscribers on this channel use. You can set this wallet up in about 3 minutes. All you need is a card and the Tangem app on your phone, and you're good to go. It's also the most durable wallet on the market and the only one that I've ever traveled with. Out of the 4 million cards Tangem has produced since 2017, not a single one has been hacked. If you want to learn more, I'll drop my full review and user guide along with a discount code down in the description. Now, the only downside to Tangem, I will say, is that it is a mobile-only wallet, so you have to use it with your phone. So if you would prefer to use your crypto wallet with your computer, then I would recommend the Ledger Flex. It's just as secure as Tangem, but a little different. With the Flex, a lot of the actions are done directly on the wallet itself, while Tangem does more through the app. I'll link my full Flex review down in the description if you want to check it out. But here's the thing, no matter which cold wallet you get, it's only secure if you know how to use it the right way, and this is where most people mess up, even more advanced investors. How you use your wallet will determine if you keep it or if you lose it, and I'm not just being dramatic. So if you've been zoning out, chapter 4 is the time to lock in, so if you haven't been taking notes, at least pretend like you are so your girlfriend thinks you're doing something productive. According to a study done by the blockchain data platform Chainalysis, more than $40 billion worth of crypto was lost to scams and hacks in 2024 alone. That's over 1% of the entire $3.4 trillion crypto market cap lost to criminals whose sole job is to steal your crypto. And here's the thing, that number doesn't just include big whales and corporations. It includes everyday investors like you and me. An FBI report from 2024 found that more than 69,000 investors fell victim to crypto scams, and that was just in the United States alone, and that number will continue to grow as crypto nears mass adoption. So what's the right way to store your crypto? Well, it's not just about which wallet you use, but also how you use it. So all the wallets that we talked about in this guide, crypto exchanges, hot wallets, cold wallets, they all have their place in crypto, assuming you're using them correctly. For example, exchanges are basically the only way to turn cash into crypto and crypto back into cash. So they're perfectly fine for buying and selling, also known as on and off ramping, but don't park your crypto there unless you're okay with your funds being frozen, your account being locked, or the entire exchange going offline. Once you buy crypto, your goal should be to get it to your cold wallet as quickly as possible so that you have full control. Now, once you get your crypto onto your cold wallet, you're almost there, but this is where most people mess up and still end up losing all of their crypto because they get a little too confident without knowing everything they need to know. Even with all of its security features, a cold wallet is only as secure as the person using it. So if you use it the wrong way, your crypto is still at risk. So how to use a cold wallet the right way? Well, all you have to do is keep it cold. Cold meaning investing offline. So how do you do that? The way that I've done this for the past 5 years is to have one dedicated cold storage wallet that I use to send and receive crypto. So basically I treat it like my crypto savings account. Now you can send crypto from an exchange to this wallet and send crypto from this wallet to an exchange if you need to, but where the danger lies is connecting this wallet to the internet. So hooking it up to random websites to do things like claim free crypto, mint NFTs, or basically anything that requires you to sign a transaction using your cold wallet on some random website. The one massive problem with connecting any crypto wallet to any website is that the website could actually be malicious, meaning the transaction you sign could also be malicious. Anytime you sign a transaction using your wallet that requires you to spend crypto, you're actually signing something called a spend approval, and the spend approval is basically telling the smart contract, hey, it's okay to take this amount of crypto out of my wallet in exchange for this. But if that spend approval is malicious, you could actually be giving the scammer access to your entire wallet and all of your crypto in it. This is called a malicious contract approval, and it's one of the most common scams in crypto for both beginners and especially more advanced users who have a little more confidence but aren't aware of the scam. So the one simple rule to avoid the scam is to just avoid connecting your cold wallet to any website to sign transactions. But what if you want to connect to websites to do things like claim free crypto airdrops, mint NFTs, or whatever it is you want to do that would require a spend approval? Well, you can do this, you just don't use your main cold storage wallet where your entire crypto portfolio is stored. So a better option would be something like a hot wallet, since they're free to download and easy to use. So here's the best method that I've found that works for interacting with various decentralized websites. So you download whatever hot wallet you want to use, you load just enough crypto on it for the transaction. So let's say you're claiming some free crypto, it's going to cost you $5 for the transaction approval. So you load your wallet with $5, you sign the transaction approval, you get the free crypto in your hot wallet. Now, if you want to protect that crypto that you just claimed, you can send it to your cold wallet for safekeeping, and then you just keep basically nothing or a very minimal amount on your hot wallet. So let's recap. Crypto exchanges are perfect for buying and selling crypto, but not holding crypto. Cold wallets are like your digital vault or your savings account. This is where the majority of your crypto portfolio should be held, and hot wallets are perfect for holding smaller amounts and interacting with websites. Okay, now you know how to keep your crypto safe, but how do you know which cryptos to actually invest in? That's the $1,000,000 question, literally, and that's exactly what we're breaking down in chapter 5. Now, what I'm about to tell you might be a little controversial, and you won't hear from any other crypto YouTuber. Researching crypto in 2025 is like trying to solve a maze that changes every 10 seconds. It's practically useless. Reason being is that 99% of cryptocurrencies are scams, and by scam, I mean they have a very short shelf life of usually a few days to maybe a few weeks at most. Here's the scammer playbook. Step 1, create a token and launch it. Literally anyone can do it. Step 2, use bots to inflate the price and create fake trading volume. Step 3, attract new investors who will buy the token. And step 4, once everyone buys in, the creator sells the tokens, runs off with a bunch of money, and then does it again with another token. This is called a rug pull, and it will leave a lot of investors holding a worthless token. But how do you spot tokens using this playbook? Well, it's actually pretty simple. If a token launches and you see it skyrocket and there's a bunch of hype around it, this hype is likely driven by bots and insiders who are trying to bring in new investors, such as yourself. But there are smarter ways to research crypto so that you can find projects with potential that won't instantly crash to zero the moment you buy them. Now, my methods for researching crypto are going to be different from most crypto influencers who tell you to learn technical analysis so that you can read charts. I do not think that this will work in 2025 and beyond, and the reason being is that most cryptocurrencies are manipulated by whales, insiders, and just straight up scammers. But don't let this scare you off. I'm going to show you a couple ways to avoid the traps and still find projects with potential upside. I'll start with my lowest risk method and then move on to a higher risk strategy. If your goal is low risk and you just want to invest in a crypto with a proven track record, I would start with the crypto top 100 list. These coins and tokens are ranked by market cap, which is the total value of all coins in circulation. It's calculated by multiplying the current price by total supply. You can view this list at coinmarketcap.com/coins, and while all crypto is volatile, the assets on this list are generally more established and less likely to rug pull or disappear overnight. Bitcoin, of course, is number one, and historically, it's been the least risky long-term investment in all of crypto. In fact, Bitcoin has outperformed the S&P 500 over the past 10 years. So if you're looking for the lowest risk place to start, Bitcoin is it. But you can also scroll down the top 100 list, find other projects that interest you, and dig deeper before investing. The next least risky option after Bitcoin are major altcoins like Ethereum and Solana. both are massively popular with huge user bases and a ton of infrastructure being built on top of them. But here's a reality of crypto. It doesn't matter if it's something as revolutionary as Bitcoin or something as silly as a meme token like Trump. If enough people believe in it, buy it, and hold it, the price will go up. And if people continue to hold it, the price will remain. The market is the market, meaning it doesn't matter if you think something is stupid or useful. If enough people believe in it and buy it, then the price will go up. Now, this is one of the main reasons why I don't give a lot of weight to a project's roadmap. And a roadmap is basically a set of ideas or future plans for a project. And a lot of investors will take this into consideration when buying a cryptocurrency. But personally, I don't. As the saying goes, don't buy promises, buy products. In other words, don't invest in a crypto for what it could become, invest in it for what it is today. And what it is could be something revolutionary that will change the entire financial industry, or it could just be a token that was created off of a cultural moment. Both are opportunities, both can make you money. But there is another method for researching crypto that comes with a lot more risk, but could also have a lot more potential to make a lot more money. And this is how some people become overnight millionaires, and that is researching newly launched crypto projects using tools like Dex Screener or Dex Tools. These tools show you tokens that just launched, so you can jump on tokens early before they blow up, but that is the exception, not the rule. Again, a lot of these tokens are planned launches that have bots and insiders already trading them to make them look like they're the next best thing when in reality they're not. But if you're okay taking on that risk, this is how this strategy works. So let's use the Dex Tools website for this example. Now let's say you want to search for a token on a specific blockchain network. You can do that by going to the network section and then selecting whatever network you want to search. So I'll select Ethereum, and then to find brand new token launches, go to the new pairs tab. Just keep in mind, while the potential for profit can be huge with new token launches, the risk is also much higher. Most of these tokens are pumped and dumped within hours or days. But let's say you do find a token that looks interesting. There are a few key things you need to know to make sure it's not a scam. Start by selecting the token and then go to the quick intel tab. The first thing you want to check is that it's not a honeypot. A honeypot is a token that you can buy but you can't sell because a contract is written to trap you. If it's flagged as a honeypot, do not buy it. Next, check if the ownership has been renounced. That means the developers no longer have control over the contract, so they can't change the rules later or rug you. Now, to be fair, if ownership hasn't been renounced, that doesn't always mean it's a scam, but it's definitely a red flag. And finally, check the liquidity. Liquidity is a pool of money available for people to buy and sell that token. If a token has $70,000 in liquidity, that means that much can be sold before it dries up. If there's no locked liquidity or barely any money in the pool, you might not be able to cash out even if the price goes up. Now, I'm going to be honest, most of these tokens are complete trash with a very short shelf life, but again, you could stumble on that one, put in a little money and turn it into a lot of money and become an overnight millionaire, or at least end up with more money than you started with. However, this is very unlikely, and don't get it twisted. Using this method is no different than going to the slot machine and hoping to land a jackpot. That's why I personally stick with more established cryptocurrencies, especially if you're a beginner just starting out, or at the very least, if it's not something on like the top 100 list, look at a coin that's been around for a few months, not just a couple of days or even a few hours. Okay, now before I show you how to buy crypto, we need to talk about fees. There are several types of fees that could eat into your crypto profit, so chapter 6 is all about what these fees are and how they work. This first fee, which is also the most common fee, is called a network or a gas fee. Anytime you transact on the blockchain, you're paying this fee, so that means whether you're buying, selling, swapping, or sending crypto, you have to pay the network a fee, and this fee is solely dependent on the network that you're transacting on, as well as how busy that network is at the time of your transaction. If the network is super congested, you're going to pay more. That said, less efficient networks like Ethereum and Bitcoin generally have higher fees compared to more efficient networks like Solana, which usually only charges a couple of cents. Second are crypto exchange fees, and these are separate from the blockchain fee, and you will pay these fees anytime you use a crypto exchange to buy, sell, swap, or sell your crypto on platforms like Coinbase, Binance, or Kraken, for example. Some crypto exchanges might charge you a flat rate fee like 3% of your total transaction, or they could charge you a maker and taker fee, so depending on the type of transaction you're doing, the fee will vary. Lastly, we have slippage. Now, this technically isn't a fee, but it does affect the overall amount of crypto you receive when you buy or sell it, and slippage is the change in price from when you submit a transaction to when it's finalized on the blockchain. So you could buy a crypto that's worth $1 per token, and by the time the transaction is actually finalized, it might be worth $1.05, so you actually get less for your money. Slippage usually happens with fast moving or low liquidity tokens like with certain meme coins where the price is constantly changing. At this point, you've gone from being a complete amateur to knowing more than 90% of crypto investors, and I say this with confidence knowing that only 10% of investors even know to use a cold wallet. So now it's time. Chapter 7 is all about buying crypto, and choosing where to buy your crypto is kind of like choosing which dealership to get your car from. They all sell you the same thing, they just might have different fees that they throw in. Also, some dealerships are more reputable than others, so the same goes for choosing a crypto exchange. You want to choose one that has a good track record that has been around for a while. An easy way to find a reputable crypto exchange is just to Google tier 1 crypto exchanges. These are known for high trading volume, strong liquidity, better security, and proper regulatory compliance. Some exchanges might not be available in your area though, so once you find one you like, just Google "is exchange name available in my state" or wherever you live. My preferred crypto exchange is Kraken, and I'll leave a link down in the description if you want to check them out. Now, the main reason why I like Kraken over all the other crypto exchanges that I've tried is that they have given me the fewest issues, and the one time I did have an issue, they got back to me within 24 hours and it was resolved, which is literally unheard of in the crypto space. The only downside to Kraken in my experience is that it's not available in every state, so if you live in New York or Maine, you're going to have to find a different tier 1 exchange to use. But don't worry, because the process for buying and selling crypto is basically the same on all exchanges, so let me walk you through how to set up an account and buy your first crypto using Kraken. First, head over to Kraken using the link in the description, enter your email and tap sign up to create your account. Next, create a password and select your country and state, and this confirms whether Kraken is available in your area. You'll get a code sent to your email, enter that code into Kraken to confirm your email address. Once that's done, you'll need to complete the KYC or know your customer, and after that, you should have full access to your account. Now, I'm logged into my Kraken account and I'm going to walk you through the basics first. If you go to portfolio, then filter by all, you can view your full history of your account. This is my secondary account, so there's not much here, but once you start buying and selling, this is where your activity will show up. To buy crypto, go to the right side of the screen and click the transfer button. You'll see options to deposit or withdraw. Choose deposit and a small menu will pop up. Select your local currency. For me, that's USD. Now you'll see different ways to add money to your account. You can link your bank account using Plaid, which is my preferred method since the transfer is instant. You can also use PayPal or wire transfer. Once you pick your method and enter your info, your bank account will appear in the drop down. Enter the amount you want to deposit. Depending on the method you chose, this could take a while, but if you use Plaid, just refresh the page and your money should show up in your portfolio. Now you're ready to buy crypto. So to buy crypto, go to the buy tab and click the drop down. You can browse a list or search for a specific coin or token. So for this example, I'm going to buy some Solana. Before you confirm, Kraken will show you all the transaction details like how much you're buying, the current price, the exchange fee, and the total amount that you're spending. If everything looks good, tap confirm, and within a few minutes, the crypto should appear in your portfolio account. Now, when it comes time to sell your crypto, you have two options. You can either sell it directly from your cold wallet, assuming it supports the crypto you're trying to sell, or what I like to do is I just send it back to my crypto exchange and sell it there because they usually have better rates. To do that, once you have your crypto back in the exchange, you just go up here to the sell button, select how much you want to sell, and then from there you can withdraw it to your bank account. But now the question is, how often should you buy crypto and how much do you need to actually buy to make decent returns? Well, think about it like this. You know that coffee that you buy every day or that Netflix subscription you have that you barely use? What if you just put that money into crypto? In the meantime, you can make your coffee at home and you can binge my channel for free instead of Netflix. My point is, you can put in as much as you want or as little as you want. Whatever you can comfortably afford is how much you should invest. Whether that's $20 a week or $200 a week, it's really up to you as long as you follow the one golden rule, which is never invest more money than you're willing to lose. And this will ensure that you'll be able to sleep at night because you're not going to be worried about whether your portfolio is up or down. Now, if you're looking for an actual method for investing, there are two methods that I've used over the past 5 years to build up my crypto portfolio, and you can choose whichever one works best for you and your current financial situation. If you've got a chunk of money just sitting in your checking account or under your mattress and you want it to work for you, you might be interested in a large lump sum investment. So you just take whatever you have and put it all into crypto today, and then you just leave it, and then you could take profit on the way up. This is a good method if you have a busy lifestyle and you don't want to have to worry about investing in crypto every week or every month. Or the second method you can use that I like to do, and what a lot of other investors like to do, is to invest a little bit either on a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly basis, and this takes out a lot of the emotion and trying trying to time the market when you're investing. So instead of trying to guess the best time to buy, which everybody gets wrong anyways, you can invest set amounts in regular intervals, and generally doing it this way, you're going to get a better average cost anyways, and you don't have to worry about whether the token's price is up or down. You just buy it regardless of its price. And that's crypto investing right there. Just those two methods will take you a long ways, but just one more step before your crypto is fully secure. Once you buy it, you need to get it into a cold wallet. Now, to keep this guide a little bit more concise, I'm just going to link my step-by-step tutorial on how to transfer crypto from an exchange to your cold wallet. You can watch that either up here somewhere, or I'll also leave it down in the description for you. But simply buying crypto, sending it to your cold wallet, and watching the value of your portfolio go up doesn't mean that you're in profit. You only realize profit when you actually take profit. So when should you sell your crypto, and how do you take profit the smart way? That's exactly what Chapter 8 is all about. Here's my rule. If you're sitting on crypto and it's worth more than what you originally paid for it, that's already a win in my book. You'll never feel upset about taking profit, but you will be upset if you try to time the top of the market and then you end up just making absolutely nothing. There's a saying, if it's good enough to take a screenshot, then it's good enough to take profit, meaning if the price is so insane that you're taking a picture of it, it's probably time to sell. And just to be clear, there is absolutely no one who can time the top of the market. Anyone who tries to do this always ends up losing money because they ride the wave back down to zero. That's why it's so important to have a profit-taking strategy. So there are 3 strategies that I like to use. Let's break them down. Strategy number 1, sell all at once. This is the most basic strategy. If you bought one Bitcoin for $40,000 and now that one Bitcoin is worth $80,000, you sell your entire Bitcoin and you walk away with a $40,000 profit. The upside to this is that you lock in your profit immediately. The downside is if the value of the coin keeps going up, then you miss out on potential upside. Strategy number 2 is selling in portions, also called scaling out. So you sell tiny bits of your crypto as the price continues to go up. So for example, let's say you bought $40,000 worth of Bitcoin, you sell 0.25 of it. Once it reaches 80,000, you sell another 0.25 once it reaches 90,000, and then you sell the other 0.5 once it hits 100K. This method spreads out your risk a little bit and you have more potential to catch the upside and make more profit. However, if the price of the cryptocurrency goes down, then you're left holding the bag. Strategy number 3 is what I call de-risk and hold. With this strategy, you just sell enough to recoup your initial investment and then you leave the rest in the market to make profit. So for example, if you bought Bitcoin at $40,000 and it reaches $80,000, you could sell 0.5 of your Bitcoin, recoup that initial $40,000 that you put in, and then everything else after that will just be profit. But choosing when to take profit is only half of the equation. You also need to decide how you're going to take your profit or what you're going to turn your profit into. There are really 3 options for how to take profit. The first one is you can convert your profit into a stable coin like USDC or USDT. This is good if you want to realize your profit so that you aren't dealing with the fluctuations of cryptocurrency while keeping that profit in the crypto market. The second option is converting it to your local fiat currency like USD. This is good if you want to use your profit for stuff in the real world like paying bills, groceries, whatever it may be. And the third option is to take your profits and put it into another cryptocurrency so that you can still benefit from the upsides of the market. Really, the only way I would do this is putting it into something stable like Bitcoin. But there's one thing most crypto investors completely forget about that can get you into a lot of trouble. We have to talk about it. That's taxes. Just because you're investing in a digital asset like crypto doesn't mean that you can avoid paying Uncle Sam his portion. You still have to pay taxes on any of your crypto gains. But what actually counts as a taxable event when it comes to cryptocurrency? Now, obviously, I am not a tax advisor. However, I have been filing my own crypto taxes for several years, so I have a decent idea of what's taxable and what isn't. Of course, always check with your local tax laws and a tax advisor. Now, simply buying and then holding crypto is not considered a taxable event. Also, transferring crypto, say from your crypto exchange account to your cold wallet, is not a taxable event. So what is a taxable event? Well, pretty much everything else. Swapping one crypto for another, such as swapping ETH for Bitcoin, swapping crypto for fiat, like Bitcoin for USD, also claiming free crypto airdrops or receiving crypto as a gift. Those are all taxable events, as well as trading crypto in exchange for services or goods. Basically, anytime you dispose of your crypto for something else is going to trigger a taxable event. If you want to learn how I file my own crypto taxes or even how someone else can file them for you, I'll drop my full guide down in the description for you. Now, since this guide is so in-depth, there's still a lot more to learn. The most important thing you should continue learning is how to secure your crypto using a cold wallet. I share 5 years of cold wallet knowledge in this next video. Check it out. God bless and peace out.